Hello again, I'm George with Sogo All Over the Place. Today I'm going to show you how simple and inexpensive it can be to make a setup, a studio in your home for doing listings for eBay or Poshmark, Mercari, Facebook Marketplace. This is the area I work out of 90% of the time. I do most of my listings from this area right here. Very inexpensive setup. Simple to use. It's the smallest room in my house. It was my office and still is. Anyway, let's get started. Okay. Right here we have, let me back up a little bit so you can see just how small this space really is. I have my shipping supplies on shelves in here. I do my shipping and listing from in here. You can see I have my desk here with, I've got a lot of items scattered around too, but my thermal laser printer, my laptop. I finalize my listings on the laptop. I start them on my phone, but usually finalize them on the laptop just so I can adjust the color and contrast on the pictures just to make them look more exactly like they look in person. Most people probably notice that the color on their phone is just a little bit off when they take a picture. My scale for weighing stuff. That little guy was there when I bought this desk here, and so I just kind of left him there. He's my little buddy. But anyway, you can see where the digital readout is for the scale. So I get a weight after I set stuff up to ship. A little bit of packaging paper there. Alright, let's, right here I've got a bunch of stuff I'm getting ready to list. Anyway, studio area. Okay, as you can see right here, this is just a shop light, an LED shop light. Nothing real fancy, nothing spectacular. I have a piece of packing foam in front of it, just hung with a hanger. It diffuses the light a little bit. If you know a little bit about photography, which I know very little, kind of trial and error for me, but I found it diffused the light and made the pictures turn out. You want your pictures to look as close to exact to the item as possible, because that way when somebody receives them they aren't confused as to why they don't look like the pictures did. If anything, you want your pictures to look worse than the actual item does, so that way they're happy. I've got a lot of feedback that actually says that the items look better than the pictures. Anyway, the wall is just painted white. I should have used a flat paint. It's a semi-gloss, but it doesn't reflect a whole lot of light, but a little bit, more than I'd like. Right here, this is just poster board from Walmart, sitting on top of a old shelf that the top was broken, so instead of throwing it away, I put it here to use for a platform, and then underneath I've got some more boxes stored. But up top, here, I'm going to be listing these vans shortly. I picked these up at the Goodwill. I don't source there a whole lot anymore. Their pricing's gotten a little bit ridiculous, and they think they're running boutiques now instead of thrift stores, which is kind of sad since everything is donations. They're supposed to be helping the community, and I can't honestly say I know anything that they've done in my community, but maybe I'm just missing something. The job programs are what they are. Anyway, so typically I'd use a square setting on my phone. All the pictures are square. There are some platforms that require that, and that way they're already done that way. At some other point I'll show you some apps I use for when I'm not using a white background that, well, I can tell you, Photo Room is one of the ones that I found the best to use. It's a free app. You can buy the Pro version, and it gives you extra features, but just for creating a white background, Photo Room is really, really good. Anyway, when I do my pictures, like I said, it's just on white poster board, white background, light coming from an LED shop light that I think I actually got at Home Depot. I got it for shop light purposes and then decided to use it up here. When I get my photos, I get a photo of this side of the shoe first, the outsides, flip them around, photo of the insides. This is just a little piece of styrofoam that I tacked a white pillowcase to give me a little platform for when I'm listing shoes. I get a picture of the back. I get a close-up picture of the size label. I try to get pictures of the insides, so that way they can see what the inside looks like. I'll get a picture of the front, and then what I like to do is, there's a couple different ways you can do this, but this is the way I found is typically the easiest and a little more difficult to do with one hand. There's a label on the bottom of them that I haven't peeled off yet, but I'll get to that when I actually do the listing and the photos. Like I said, just showing you how I set them up. Get a picture of the tread, so that way they can see the tread, and I put that in my listing. Any defects, any issues, I always make sure I put good descriptions of any of that in my listings. If there's an item that's still sellable that has just maybe a tiny bit of damage, say there's a marker spot here, I'll point to the spot and get a close-up picture of whatever that is. Well, there isn't here, but just so you can see what it is. Anyway, this is my basic studio. This is my basic areas where I do 90% of my listings, and I probably have $35 invested into the shop light. As you can see, I originally was using just a $10, $15 shop light, which does the same thing, but I switched to the LEDs just because less electricity and being a little conservative. And I had them, so figured I might as well. You can see on this back wall I have a hook up here where I have a hanger, so if I'm doing clothes I can do a hanging flat lay on the wall. I'm going to show you this. This is an idea I actually got from Rally Roots. If you ever watch them, they're pretty good information and real good people. Watch Rockstar Flipper and Resale Rabbit, Auction Professor. All of them have different types of information, but good information. Good to watch, good insight, good information. Anyway, I took a wire hanger and I bent it out, so if I have a large shirt I can have the sleeves extended out to where they are if I'm doing XL and bigger. But then I can hang it on that hook up there. And anyway, so like I said, for very inexpensively you can set up a studio. Now I'm going to take you into the other room because I have another studio that I use sometimes. I've had people that work for me, and usually I'll put them in the other one just so while I'm working, if they need help learning how to do something that we're doing, I can easily get to them, but we're not on top of each other in each other's space. Anyway, give me just a minute and we'll go in there.